Welcome to the Space Limited Accomplishments. We just ran over a rabbit. Oh Christ! This is Lance Ash, and I'm in the car of my wife Bonnie.
Cringing.
On my way back to work after a nice weekend. Pretty good, production-wise. Got some work done on the new painting. If I finish this one, it'll be 31 for the year, which is pretty good.
Did you change the size of the head of that person?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's going to turn out pretty good. All I got left to do is the guy's head and the body, and the little hands and.
So everything.
Well, no, I mean most of that. I'm on the final step of the final phase of the picture.
My God, look at those tacky lights.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Wow, these are really bad.
Everybody's put up their Christmas. Oh my God, that's horrible.
Oh my God.
Oh God, what is wrong with people? Power consumption in the winter is supposed to be down compared to the summer, but the power companies are in cahoots with churches to get people to use their electricity more.
Yeah, the grand conspiracy. Are we becoming a Trumpster, dear? No. Let's not talk like them.
I got accused of being a covert right-winger online by some guy.
What?
This weekend, yeah.
How?
Because he posted a comment. Nobody else in the comment stream could understand what he meant either. Was he being serious or was he not? He was totally dead serious and then claimed, "Oh no, this is advanced humor far above your heads. I was trying to be," and then he said, "No, you're the right winger." So I think he's just some jerk. Yeah. I hate it when they throw in something like proud veteran. Who cares? What if somebody was a school teacher for 40 years? Does that is that any less valid? Raised 2 grown beautiful children. I think that's pretty accomplished. We're dropping off some mail at the post office, the local post office. Can you imagine if I worked here?
That would be lovely. Your work, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, 8 hours a day here, what would you do?
They don't have it open 8 hours anymore.
Well, when my mother ran it, they did.
A lot of things have changed.
She had a portable TV. And when she wasn't working, she'd sit there and watch it. Watch soap operas, I guess, during the day or something.
Oh, God.
I was thinking about that just the other day. I think it was, well, I know it was Another World, but there was another one called Days of Our Lives, and The Doctors. I remember that my grandmother watching that too. But
Grace?
No, my dad's mother. She babysat me when I was little, and I would watch these shows with them. And my dad worked the afternoon shift at the post office for a while, so he would watch soap operas in the morning, and because there was nothing else on back in those days on TV. And you're a little kid watching this, and it's like real people because it's every day. You know, the ongoing story is every day, and you get wrapped up in it. There was there was an episode of The Doctors. Did you ever watch any soap operas when you were little?
Only when I was down at my grandma's and she would have them on, and I didn't want to be outside playing. It was too damn hot and 110 degrees.
Well, there was one episode where the hospital had to raise money, so they put on like a charity vaudeville show, and I distinctly remember that one. Bam. So what did we do this weekend?
Don't know.
I went out with you briefly to take the trash off to the dump.
Took you to the library and dropped you off there.
Oh yeah. The university library is open again.
Damn.
Are you upset that I mentioned that?
Yeah, it's really asinine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, so Bonnie dropped me off at the university library while she went to get our son at work. And it's always, I don't know, I'm such a nerd. It's such a treat for me to go to the library and just poke around and get stuff.
Was it really empty?
No, well, it wasn't crowded, but surprisingly, there were a number of people in there studying. They only want 1 or 2 people per table doing study or research or whatever. And
Did you ride the elevator with anyone?
no, that's how dead it is, because I've ridden the elevator a couple times now and been by myself every time. Not only are the elevators limited to 2 people each, but so are the bathrooms, the toilets, the restrooms for you, those of you outside the kooky South. And they've got hand sanitizer dispensers everywhere. But I got the books that I had looked up previously online on the card catalog, and German art.
Oh, we did go over some art books together. That was enjoyable.
Yeah, when I got the books home, we took some time together and sat on the sofa and looked at the art books together. There were a couple of avant-garde artist groups in post-war Germany. One was a group of Spur, that's the most famous. There was a group of Wir, Geflecht, the Herzogstrasse Collective. And I like these groups and the painters in them more for the fact that they were a group of young guys trying to do something together, more than I like the art itself. It's a little too bright. The colors are just straight out of the tube. And but they have a definite debt to Dubuffet and Vols, and which I like. Wait, we gonna say something?
Don't you use your paint straight out of the tube?
That's not what I mean. I mean, yeah, I mix it down with other, make it a little lighter, or a little darker, or a little more brown or gray or whatever. But I don't know, put green straight on there, up against red. I don't know. But I'm trying to think. I'm really more interested in the drawing at the moment, drawing and woodcuts and stuff, than I am painting. Well, this is going to be a boring show. We don't have much to talk about. Very happy by... we're not supposed to be political on the show, though, either. I was going to say I was very happy by the latest flounderings of the administration. God, Giuliani really has fallen far, hasn't he?
Yeah, I remember admiring him myself after 9/11, even before then, which my son would condemn me for because I was pleased with the small crimes policies he had. Specifically, I think that you have to clean up the neighborhood to make it a nicer place to live. And by enforcing the small things, you root out the large. Of course, our son would disagree. He has a tendency to think that the smaller crimes are done by groups that may be picked on, etc., etc. I don't know what his deal is. But yeah, I used to like him. I remember reading about him in New Yorker and all of his policies. And after 9/11, he seemed to be what the city needed. But I don't know what the hell's happened to him now. I really don't.
Well,
he has COVID.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Bill O'Reilly was the host of a tabloid TV show called Inside Edition, and Rudy Giuliani was a special correspondent. So I thought he was just a journalist, some sort of... I didn't know who he was at the time. And, he would report back to Bill O'Reilly in the studio, and Bill would say something like, "Shocking news, Rudy, thank you."
So was this when he was a lawyer, the DA, and the federal lawyer?
Must have been.
So he was reporting on his mafia?
Might have. I don't. Yeah, it might have been. I don't know.
Well, he has always been a publicity hound or publicity whore. So I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah. look who he works for.
Oh God, the biggest war of all.
Well, anyway, the ongoing development of my studio continues. I think I mentioned I put a table in there, and so I'm able to do drawing and
we did clear out the closet last week, so you were able to use some of the stuff that came out of there.
Yeah, we found a great big, what do you call those things? An artist portfolio, one of those big ones. And we haven't opened it yet because it's full of children's drawings when they were little. And we're afraid to go because it'll be, an hour of just, oh, look at this, oh, look at this. So we got to go through that at some point. I don't understand people who are so unsentimental that they'll look at even their own children's work and go, crap. Anyway, so I'm thinking about doing some woodcuts, but I got to find I got to make a space where I can secure the block so I won't gouge a hole in my thigh when I'm doing the cutting. Back when I first was doing lino cuts and woodcuts, I would pull that extension out of the desk and brace it and use the edge of the desk to hold whatever I was cutting. And I bought all those expensive wood cutting tools and the brayer and all that stuff.
You put it down for what, 20 years, and now you're just not picking it up again?
Yeah, that was at the old house. God. So that was,
Close to 20 years.
That.
Oh, we saw Reed this week.
Yeah, our daughter came over to do the laundry.
And I saw her when I had to do the car thing, because she always picks me up, so I don't have to wait up there in the waiting room. But she has a little Christmas tree, which has caused a division between me and Lance. Yeah,
our daughter lives on her own now, and she bought we don't celebrate Christmas, but for whatever reason, she bought a little 2-foot tree with the lights already on it and everything, and I think it's the slippery slope to, cult membership.
I say it's her place. She can do with it what she wants. I may not disagree with the fact she spent $50 for everything for the tree, but that's her own business.
Well, I think it's kind of like me holding on to my tarot cards and Aleister Crowley books.
We still have the tarot cards and the Aleister Crowley.
That's what I'm saying. I've still got all my books on Buddhism and all this other shit, and I don't know. After much thorough investigation, I've decided that Buddhism is a load of nonsense. I thought that it being on some level an atheistic philosophy or school of thought, that it might have some benefit to it, but no.
But you do embrace meditation.
Yeah.
Which is something individual from religion. It doesn't have to be part of it.
But again, after...
Good benefits with that in the past, especially after your brain surgeries.
Well, after a lot of trial and error, I've just had to come up with my own method of meditation. I didn't want to spend the $1,000 or whatever it is for a formal transcendental meditation training, so I just kind of read what I could about it and made up my own method.
Basically, find a quiet space, close your eyes, focus on your breathing.
Yeah, but I've tried this and that and that and this, and I've just come to the conclusion that counting your breath is the best thing to do. And I don't mean 1, 2, 3. I mean count a predetermined number. I usually go to 50, but sometimes to 100. Some people say, like Howard Stern says, he was told by the master himself that if you don't have 20 minutes a day, if you're too busy to spend 20 minutes a day, then you're just too busy. Well, yeah, I am too busy. I don't have the luxury of having a $20 million a year job. Anyway, I watched an old Kiss video from '85 today, just to see one 1-second clip, part of it, that I remember my friend and I used to think was so cool.
Is it cool now, Lance?
No, it's completely stupid.
Yes.
It's the video for Tears Are Falling, and it's about this guy breaking up with this girl, and she's crying. And there's a scene at the beginning of the video where Paul Stanley turns away like, oh, he can't bear the emotion. It's just too much to see this girl cry. And I remember my friend and I watching that and going, oh, wow, he's a fantastic actor. And it's like half a second.
God.
Oh, God. Oh, my
You know
God.
why I don't like Kiss, right?
Because of Gene Simmons?
That's right. He's an asshole.
He is. He's just full of shit. And,
Is he a Republican?
yes, he is.
Well, there you go.
But-
Damn him to hell.
But he's I think he's one of these dudes that's a Republican because they
Tax breaks.
tax breaks and they're against unions, and you know, I made it through hard work, so why can't they?
No,
I
wait.
get sick of that shit.
Isn't he married to a porn star? And aren't
No,
Republicans
no.
into porn?
No, he's married to a former Playboy model, but she never
Same
did. You know, she
difference.
never did split beaver stuff.
The Republicans would be against it, in theory, to appeal to their Bible Belt base.
It you know, I tell you, first of all, we didn't keep track of the time, so we might be over. But anyway, I figured it out today.
What?
I figured the whole thing out.
What? Life? The meaning of life?
The-
42? What?
No. Authority, or the upper classes, or those in charge, they never well, they always stick together, put it that way. And the lower classes, though, they don't always stick together against their natural enemies. They get brainwashed by the upper classes into thinking that their fellow lower class members are the enemy. And that's what it all boils down to. Because well, I had a whole spiel worked out about it, but now I'm too tired at the moment to think about it. I'm trying to drink another half gallon of tea sitting here, but anyway, the point is that people like Gene Simmons and David Lee Roth, they're Republican leaning, no matter what the moral majority allies of the Republicans are, because they're for tax breaks, and they think, well, I made it, I worked hard and I made it, but
everybody else can do it too.
right.
Bullshit.
And this new movie, which I'm surprised Ron Howard is the director of.
Hillbilly Elegy.
Right. This notion that, well, I was born into dire poverty and ignorant as a chipmunk, and I made it through hard work. Why can't you? Well, there's lots of people who make it through hard work. I mean, who work their asses off and don't make it. Anyway, we need a predetermined time to shut up here, because I try not to go over 20 minutes. I think 20 minutes is about as much as people can stand of our, just aimless rambling. We really ought to have a theme for this show from now on. Perhaps some really catchy artwork or a nice photograph will, balance out the emptiness of this episode.
Please.
I need to go through all the photographs I got on the various camera cards. Picture of some rusted out boxcar or something. Laundromat. That's not a bad idea. You know what would be cool is a picture of the inside of some old lady's abandoned hair salon that she operates out of the back of her house or something. That would be really cool.
What about Sarah Lou's mom? You think her?
That's what I was thinking of, yeah. Because I never saw it when I was a kid. I never saw that place in operation. I would only look.
Wilden's place in Crawford, where he cut hair.
I don't know what's inside there anymore. That was a weird place to get your hair
He's
cut.
such a hoarder. He's probably still got the components of it. He just can't find it.
The barber chair? He might still have that somewhere. But there was this structure in the next town over from where we live that was basically
A shed.
it was a shed. It was a concrete floor, and it was 10 walls with paneling on the inside, and there was an old-fashioned wood stove in there, and a church pew, and a barber's chair. And you would go over there and get your hair cut for $5. So I'm such a, I don't know, whatever, mentally stuck in a rut that I still think, well, that's as much as you should pay for a haircut. More,
Now
you know.
I want you to tip $5. You have a fit.
And you would sit there. Oh, by the way, there used to be this little half-size magazine that you could get for free. It was really an advertising thing. That's how they paid for it being free. And it would have topless women pictures in there. It was called Parts Pups. And he would have copies of that strewn about. And in there, along with, week-old newspapers and car magazines. And he would sit there and wait, and it would be a bunch of old guys, and they would talk with him while he cut hair. And he had all the old hair tonics in there. Four Tigers or Four Roses or whatever the hell it was called. Four Tigers, I think it was called.
Four Roses was a whiskey.
Four Roses was a cheap whiskey, yeah.
That's the one my grandmother would keep under the sink, bathroom sink for medicinal purposes.
Okay, we're going to wrap the show up, but I'm going to tell you one story before we go. There used to be this crappy grocery store up the road. That's where we shopped all the time. And they sold beer and wine. And back when I was an alcoholic, well, I'm still an alcoholic, but back when I was a drunk, I either didn't have money or it was a Sunday and we couldn't buy alcohol. So I went in there and shoplifted a bottle of the strongest wine I could find, and it was this wine called Red Lady, and it was just, it was basically vodka with food coloring added to it and some sort of sediment, and the label was like pasted on by monkeys. It was crooked and wrinkled up where they just got it wet and slapped it on there, and it was this crude cartoon of this woman in a red dress, and it was absolutely horrible. It would leave your tongue coated with this like purplish red Kool-Aid color, but it would keep you drunk for an hour or so till you could get to the next store to shoplift another bottle. So that's how bad things were at one time in my life. And I was only about 22 years old at the time, so yeah. Anyway, anything else to add?
No, goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.